The Republic Act 10175, also known as the Anti-Cybercrime Law of the Philippines 2012. So what exactly is cybercrime? It's been such a popular trend in the news lately. Cybercrime simply pertains to any criminal act done through any electronic devices. These devices usually involve the phone, the personal computers, the iPods, and other such gadgets. Here are some common examples of cybercrime. There is identity theft. Identity theft is when a thief sends false emails, coaxing the victims into giving important information, usually account passwords, account names, account numbers, and other such information. Identity theft also happens through keyloggers. Now, keyloggers simply record what you input into the keyboard. There are two types of keyloggers. There are software that can be downloaded from the net and hardware that can be directly connected to the keyboard. Now once the thief has gotten the information he needs, he can do major damage to your accounts, your billing accounts, your credit card accounts, your debit card accounts, your bank accounts, and even your email accounts. The transaction fraud is a simple yet very effective financial fraud. This happens when scammers post products or services online. They will ask for advance payment, and they will not give the products or services that they promised to give. The transaction fraud also happens when thieves purchase items using stolen credit cards. This is possible through a certain device hidden by the sleeves of their shirts. This device takes the important information from the original credit card and sends it to a dummy card that belongs to the fraudster. Now, transaction fraud also happens when a person asks for fraudulent charge. Fraudulent charge simply means a person asking for refund even after gaining and using products and services. The advance fee fraud, also known as the 419 frauds, thanks to the Nigerian Criminal Code Against Frauds, is very similar to the transaction fraud. Thieves will send false emails to the victims. False emails regarding illicit fortune that the victims supposedly have gained. Now all the victims have to do in order to get the money which is being withheld from them is to answer a certain survey asking for certain information. Now these promises of easy money gain, easy wealth gain have gotten many victims so far, and they're still collecting even more victims. Hacking pertains to when a person gains access to privately owned systems without the permission of the owners of the systems. Now, there are two types of hackers. There are the white hats and the black hats. Now, the white hat hackers usually hack in order to quench or to satisfy their curiosities. They also hack just for the thrill of the challenge that comes along with hacking. They go so far as to inform the owner of any loopholes within the system's security. Now the black hat hackers, they're the ones who hack for personal gain. They usually steal information from the system or they damage the system so that they can hack it over and over again. Piracy is a very, very common cybercrime that happens daily. It happens everywhere. It is the act of copying and distributing software and hardware without the explicit permission of the original producer. Now, there are many numerous groups of pirates or people who copy and distribute products, and they do so dedicatedly. Most products that have been copied and distributed are movies. Movies that you can buy for cheap at sari-sari stores or just street vendors. So the movie and production industries have filed numerous cases against these pirates, while the software companies fight piracy through a more convenient way. They decided to add more detail and more restrictions to the terms of agreement, the license terms, and other such terms that come with their products. Libel and slander are both considered as forms of degradation. Libel and slander simply mean that a person is degrading someone else by saying that he or she is not worth anything in the world. The Republic Act number 10175 has been the first ever law against cybercrime here in the country. The act sees libel, piracy, identification theft, and others as crimes punishable by the law. Now the Supreme Court was given all authority over any and all content related to the cases they are working on. They can distribute that content, they can hold back that content. It's all up to the Supreme Court. The people who agreed and rooted for the RA have been repeatedly attacked by critics who claim that the anti-cybercrime law of the Philippines is simply a gateway for an online martial law. Now, the reason behind the critics is that the provisions are vague such that one will have a hard time knowing when teasing becomes cyberbullying, when speaking an opinion becomes libel. Now, the provisions being vague could very well result to multiple misunderstandings between the victim and the guilty. In order to avoid these misunderstandings, the government should revise the law. Otherwise, this will be what happens.